Joining us now, and this is becoming an annual tradition to have
last year in Vegas,
John Beck with us on Bowl
Mountain
Game
West
Day.
Conference Player of the Year.
That is right. Thank you, James Bates. That's your second impersonation, right?
Thank
you got the
you.
Ty
Yeah,
Detmer
I got
now
James,
you can do the James Bates. John, welcome back, man.
And Preston was
here too.
He was in Vegas with us too.
That's why I brought Preston. We're trying to make it a tradition.
Just don't yawn or play with anything, any glasses, Preston.
Yeah, they gave you a hard time last year, huh? About that.
He's got his OBJ jersey on.
Yeah.
He's ready to roll. I believe this was the stadium where you got your first win as a BYU quarterback, right?
It was. Yep. I can remember coming off the field and Andy Boyce interviewing me right over there, saying congratulations on your first win, and the baseball field was still here. So I was cut up, had dirt everywhere, but it felt great, to get that first win. It was awesome.
And there's a ton of history here, obviously, with BYU football, and you played San Diego State here and whatnot. What's it like to have BYU in this stadium again?
Well, when you were bringing up those past plays of past Holiday Bowls, I mean, as a kid, I grew up watching this greatest moments in BYU sports history and I see the Hail Mary from Jimmy Mack. I see Rob Bosco hit in the corner of the end zone, Kelly Smith, right? And then you got Steve Young catching it against Missouri. And then I actually sat in the stadium when Ty Detmer played Texas A&M, when Ty Detmer played Iowa, and also when Ohio State played here. My family would drive from Arizona, and I'd come to Holiday Bowls to follow the Cougs. So it's pretty cool to have that history here.
John Beck with us. Game day for BYU against Wyoming, kicking off at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific time. We want to know what Tanner Mangum's going to do because we saw him in last year's offense, but now this is his first start in the Ty Detmer Pro-style offense, and it's in a big-time bowl game. He's had all of 3 weeks to be the guy to take all of the snaps. What do you expect from him in terms of a stat line tonight?
Well, I liked what he wanted from a stat line. I mean, that's great. Like, head out on the field just like that. But, I think we have to also be understanding of what the situation the reality of it is. Like, he hasn't played the entire season. He's got the backup reps. And sometimes that can be hard when you've had that the entire season. Sometimes a backup comes in mid-season and then gets to play out to the rest of the year. He doesn't have all the reps in this offense like most would have. So, not saying I expect it, but it would not be uncommon for any player in this similar situation to maybe see a few bumps here and there in the beginning, then start to get back in that rhythm. I think Tanner's a player that really thrives on that feeling and rhythm, and when he's in a rhythm, he's going to play really, really well. But what helps getting in that rhythm? Having all that experience. And this year he doesn't have that. So it may kind of just take a little bit to get there. But I anticipate him being comfortable. He seems like he has that demeanor no matter what situation you put him in. Be it a freshman going out there against his first game at Nebraska, calm demeanor. Playing against Utah in his first ever bowl game, calm demeanor. So I anticipate seeing that same calm demeanor.
BYU just needs a better first quarter, and they should be fine. You have become a professional quarterback coach. What do you see from Tanner Mangum this season? Because it's kind of a different look in a different offense, right?
Are you asking about the offense or from Tanner?
Tanner specifically in the pro-style offense this season.
Well, that's obviously a difference. You have a skill set as a quarterback, but then how that skill set translates into the offense that you're in, that has an impact, right? So I thought some of the things that Coach and I did with Tanner last year fit him very, very well, especially when you watch some of the highlights from Tanner's previous time in high school. There's a lot of similarities there. This is going to be a little bit different, right? And, I've had talks with Ty and different players on the team knowing kind of what happens as you transition to a newer offense. And for a younger player, it becomes more difficult to transition to an offense. You would think it'd be the opposite. Well, gosh, if you have so much experience in an offense, shouldn't it be more difficult? But you haven't gained experience. For a young player to only have 1 year in an offense and then switch to another one just like that, that could be difficult. But there's so many things that Tanner does well in the drop-back passing game. I would anticipate Ty saying, hey, I know you don't have all the reps in this. What can I do to make you comfortable? Let me pull in some things from what you have done from past experience, and let's use that going to this game. He's not going to ask Tanner to run the same offense Taysom's been running all year.
You both wear the same number, and so naturally it's like, oh, John Beck, number 12, Tanner, number 12. But your feet remind me of each other, the way that you move in the pocket. What do you see of yourself in Tanner Mangum?
I really like when I see Tanner get through his progressions. He's somebody that has experience in progressions. That's something that I didn't come to BYU with. That's something that I had to gain and I worked really hard at. Tanner's has come in with that. So that's the first thing that I like about his feet. The way that he moves through his progressions, I know that's a strength of his.
Max Hall said that you ran a certain offense, then the head coach at Mountain View left, and then he ran, what was the offense?
The wing tee.
He ran the wing tee.
His was
How
different.
did he get a D1 offer with the wing tee?
I mean, I think he only lost one game in high school. I mean,
That's pretty good.
it's a school that wins a lot of football. We didn't really throw it a ton. Like, I think the most I ever threw in a game was like 20 times. Probably the same for Max. You don't throw it that much.
That's wild.
But when you do throw it, you're usually chucking it downfield and getting some, a lot of yards. You're throwing it like 13 times a game for like 300 yards.
Really what Max told us is that he's a way better quarterback than you, John.
I'm sure. He's a better quarterback. He's a better golfer. He's a better dancer. I'm sure Max said that.
Bocce ball. Yeah, all
Bocce ball.
Yeah, exactly.
Dennis follows the same thing. Dennis thinks he's better than me at everything also.
I know. Dennis is nervous seeing you up here.
Yeah. Come on, Dennis.
Exactly. Does Jamal Williams have to carry this team in this game, literally?
I don't think carry the team, but I'm excited because they're going to rely on the run game. I mean, why not? This is a Wyoming defense that does not do that well against the run. We have a great running back, and when that running back runs well, we do well. So I think that if I was Ty, I'm going to rely on the run, and then the run's going to set up other things. I mean, the best thing you can do to help a young quarterback is 2nd and 4.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
that's the best thing you can have happen. You don't get anything on 1st down, and then let's say you go and throw it on 2nd down, it's incomplete, now it's 3rd and 10. That's the worst thing you can do for a young quarterback. So if I was Ty, I'm going to rely a lot on the run, and then I'm going to know that the defense is going to anticipate that, and I'm going to have some great 1st down play action because I know I can hand the ball off to Jamal on 2nd down and pick up 5-6 yards. And now 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6 is manageable. But, man, of course I'm going to have some awesome 1st down shots. So I would anticipate seeing a lot of 1st and 2nd down runs, but also some 1st down. Let's take some shots. Let's get them putting 8 in the box, stepping up with the safeties and going over the top.
As Jerem established, you work with quarterbacks for a living. If you are in Tanner Mangum's ear right before he takes the field, what are you saying to him tonight?
I'm telling him to be himself. You don't have to go outside of yourself to play any better. You're in this position because of who you are. And then within that, let's play within the system. Let's know what we're going to do with the football. Let's rely on the guys that have been making plays all year for us. You don't have to step up and do anything more than you need to do. And I think sometimes for a young player that steps into a role like that, they're so confident in themselves, they want to make the great plays. They want to be the impact player. You don't have to be the impact player tonight. Manage the game, be smart with the football. You will get your opportunities to go downfield. And I don't have to talk to him about confidence. At least I don't think so. The times that I've watched him, he's a confident guy.
Oh, he's a gamer.
Right? So it's just know what you're doing in this situation. Be confident in it. You will get your chances. You will get your 1st down play action, huck that baby down the field, and that's going to get him going. So that's what I would say.
Preston's doing pretty well. I want to point that out.
Yes,
right
Preston,
now.
well done. Well done, my friend.
Compared to last
Well
year, I
done.
think you've taken it up a notch, which is really good. Hey, our Twitter question is this, John. What's the #1 matchup that matters in tonight's Poinsettia Bowl? What matchup are you watching the most?
I think it's going to be the Tanner versus their pass defense. Because
106 in the country in pass yards allowed, by the way.
Right. And it's not because they're great, but it's because there's going to be a running game. BYU is going to have a run game tonight. And Wyoming knows if they want a chance to win this game, they're going to have to somewhat not shut down the run game, but they're going to have to limit our run game.
Yeah.
Well, if they're doing all they can to limit our run game, they're essentially saying, let's see what your quarterback who hasn't been on the field all year can do against us. We're going to do everything we can to shut you down in the run. What can he do against us? And that's going to be their gamble. That's what they have to do. That's their chance. So I want to see, okay, hey, let's see 3rd down. What makes a quarterback? 3rd down. 1st and 2nd down, you can check it down. You can take your flats. You can take your shots downfield. It's what happens on 3rd down. And that's why I say, let's put this kid in a 3rd and 4 situation, not 3rd and 10s. If we start having a bunch of 3rd and 12s, or we have some sloppy penalties because they haven't played a game in a month, and then now all of a sudden it's 3rd and longs, that's asking a lot of somebody.
That's trouble, yeah.
Right?
That
And
could be
BYU
trouble.
is 13th in the country, 48% on 3rd down. But that was with a different quarterback who on 3rd and 6 could rush for a 1st down. So certainly a different dynamic.
And did so several times in clutch situations against Mississippi State and against Michigan State. Point is, Tanner's now the quarterback, and they rely on him to get what they hope is an 8th consecutive win against Wyoming. BYU's a 10-point favorite. This is an old throwback rivalry to the WAC and the Mountain West days. One game does not a season make, John, but would it be a disappointing season if BYU lost this game when they're favored to beat Wyoming?
You know what's hard, guys? My brain doesn't even go into disappointments. My brain is like, I came here to watch the guys win, so I'm not even going to answer any questions.
Is that even possible that they wouldn't?
I'm not answering a question if they might lose. Like, look, we're going to go win this game, and we're all going to go home happy, and the fans are going to get to drive back up to Provo, have a great Christmas, and then they're all going to get the hype train and the blue goggles on, and the expectations are going to be running for next year.
Oh, yeah.
And we're all going to be happy because the team's going to go undefeated next year, right? That's what
every year.
I mean, look, like, it'd be a disappointment no matter what happens. Like, of course, every time you lose, it's disappointing. But does that ruin a season? There's not like we're playing for something huge right now. We're playing to finish the season on a high note for the seniors, for Kalani's first season. I want to see Kalani win his first bowl game. I mean, he's a special guy, a special coach. Let's have the atmosphere and like the way that this program is going to move forward, saying when we get in bowl games, we win bowl games. That's what BYU does.
That's what I want.
I totally see what you're talking about.
Oh, now
John.
you see it. Yeah,
yes,
absolutely. The blue goggles are on.
I'm sorry that I even went that direction. It all makes sense now.
Don't say disappointment around me.
Don't even say that word. Yeah.
When BYU wins tonight, won't it feel great?
Yeah. if BYU wins tonight, or if you're John Beck, when BYU wins tonight, the 4 losses by 8 points would be an NCAA record, by the way, for 4 losses by that few points. What have you thought of this season? 8-4 and crazy close in those losses.
I mean, I've watched all those games, guys. Listen, football, to have a team play an entire season and you do not have a loss that's by 10, 14, 20 points, you have a solid football team. You have a really, really good football team. So, you know, we're going to forever say what could have happened if there's just a few plays here or there, right? And that's what's cool about this season. I mean, to have a new coach come in, to install a new offense, to have so much new things happening, and you don't have that hiccup game. You don't have that game like it just feels like nothing's going for us, right? And I know BYU fans can say, but wait, BYU's known for these big passing games. They're known for – is he doing the thing?
Yes, he is copying you and doing so well.
Am I doing so much of that? Anyway, BYU's known for like these big statistical games. Okay, well, Ty Detmer has to establish something. And I mean, okay, so maybe we don't have the stat lines we're all used to, but to say that the only losses have come by a few points, that's putting some things down. That's setting a great foundation.
Do you have a memorable Wyoming story? We love this question because we've had some beauties told to us this year. Do you have a favorite story that when you played against Wyoming?
I mean, the first thing that you think about when you think about Wyoming is there's a guy that sits behind the opponent's sideline, and he's just got a bucket on, a beard, a cowboy hat.
The barrel man.
The barrel man.
We're hoping there's more than that,
right?
But we don't know.
And then also my freshman year, we're coming off the field, and a fan chucks a thing of nachos, and it hits the shoulder pad of somebody right next to me. And it is just...
little cheese.
Well, Ty Detmer told us earlier this week that somebody threw a hot dog and it landed in half-eaten hot dog. It landed in Eric Mortenson's shoulder pads.
And he said, "Man, it smells like hot dog the whole game."
And now the nacho story.
There was kids running and screaming things at Aaron Francisco, and I saw Aaron Francisco he had like a little cup of water, and he chucked it at the kids.
It's not just Wyoming.
I remember being like, oh, that's true, huh? But we'll blame it on the kids.
John, great stuff, man. We
Thanks.
Appreciate you coming back to help us continue with this annual tradition.
We'll see you next year at whatever bowl game you want.
Right,
we don't know yet.
I'll bring my white belt just in case you need a white belt again.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But you need to bring some of those socks that you got on.
Okay.
I've been eyeing those socks.
Okay. I'll get you a pair.
Okay.
The Sailor Coop
I will
socks.
get you a pair. You want a pair too, Preston? Okay.